Good evening, my dear student. I am Rakesh Shabir from Sunbeam Sun City. Jai Hind you all, my dear. Now, my dear, after uploading the lectures on and the numerical problems on dimensions, we have done all dimensions numerical problem of your NCERT book. Now, NCERT exercise books dimensions problem I will upload after this video, after errors completion. Now today, my dear, I am uploading the NCERT problem and most related numericals based on estimation of errors, and then my next problems will be on combination of errors. Please be sure, the first time I am loading the numerical problem of estimation of errors. You know, my dear, estimation, you all know estimation is a general day-to-day language, communication language. Estimate, to find, to calculate the errors. Now when we calculate or estimate the error, to understand the error by numeric value, my dear, we calculate the error in a different way. There are the 5 steps to calculate the error. We are estimating in 5 different steps the errors, and these are: first, my dear, for any measurement we will find the true value. True value, what is another name? Mean value, or you can call it as most probable value. So when we estimate the error, the first step to calculate the true value or mean value or most probable value. Second step, after finding the true value, after finding the mean value, after finding the most probable value, the second step is to calculate absolute error in each measurement. Try to understand, that's why the topic called estimation. So when we estimate the error in any measurement, my dear, we are going with these 5 steps. Okay, and what is the first step? Sir, calculate the true value first of any numerical. When we estimate the error like this, so we calculate first its true value or mean value or most probable value. Then we calculate the absolute error in each measurement. Then, my dear, after calculating absolute error in each measurement, we will calculate mean absolute error. Well, absolute error in every measurement we will calculate, and then we will calculate mean absolute error. Right? I will show you. We will go for 2 numericals, and then I will give you the assignment, and doubt solving will be tomorrow. So, mean absolute error. The third is a relative, that is mean absolute error. After finding mean absolute error, we will go for to calculate relative error. This is the way we are estimating the error. So whenever we estimate error, sir, सबसे पहले we are finding the true value or mean value or average value or most probable value, because mean is also called average. Then, sir, we find absolute error in each measurement. After finding absolute error in each measurement, we calculate average absolute error or mean absolute error. Average absolute error or mean absolute error. After finding mean absolute error, we will calculate relative error. I will tell you the definitions also in between. Every definitions. Right? We will calculate relative error. How to calculate? That is definition of the relative error. So we will calculate relative error. And after calculating, at the end, last we will calculate the percentage error. I hope it is clear, percentage error. So my dear, these are the 5 steps when we do any numerical based on estimation of error. These are the 5 crucial steps which you are supposed to follow. And now, my dear, in this question they have given one, because this is an NCERT question, of course they make the student to think little bit higher in high order. They further said, express the result in a proper form. So when we go to expressing the answer of this entire question in a proper form, I will tell you how to express the given result, given answer in a proper form. And let's start and begin with the topic. Here they said in the question that they have taken the reading of some time period of oscillation, and time period, my dear, in all my previous lectures I told you, time period is denoted by capital T. So suppose in the numerical they have not mentioned the alphabet, but you will put your alphabet from your side by your knowledge, the time period is capital T. Okay. So they have measured the time period of oscillating pendulum in certain experiment, and they got 5 observations, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 observations, with the readings are 2.63, 2.56, 2.42, 2.71 and 2.80 second. These are the reading for time period, my dear. Am I clear? They have done experiment, they calculated, they have observed these 5 readings. And after calculating this 5 reading, my dear, they told, let us estimate the error by calculating the true value or mean value or most probable value, by calculating the absolute error in each measurement, by calculating the mean absolute error, that is average absolute error, then by calculating relative error, and then at the end, my dear, we will end up with by calculating the percentage error in the measurement of. Now I will complete the statement. Percentage error in the measurement of time period. I hope it is clear, Bachchan. So let's begin with the topic, my dear. One by one I will define also each terms, and I will calculate also. Okay. So in the beginning, while calculating the mean value or true value or most probable value, everybody, my dear, from class 6th, 7th only, everybody know how to calculate mean value. If there are 5 subjects, right, we get 5 marks in the 5 subject, different marks. What we are doing, we are taking all 5 subjects marks, we are adding that marks, and we are dividing by 5. And we are calculating, sir, this is the average of these subjects. Okay. So my dear, similarly, if I have a 5 readings, what should I do to calculate mean value? Sir, you will add all 5 value, you will add all 5 readings, and you will divide this 5 reading by 5. You will add all these values. How many values? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I will divide by 5. No doubt, at that stage, as soon as I got the answer, I will say, oh, this is the average or mean value. And now from today onward, please take care. This average or mean value which you are calculating is also called as true value. Or in some of the book, it is given as most probable value. So don't get confused with the different terminology. So my dear, let's begin with the first part, that is to calculate the mean value. So here I am starting. Answer. Mean value or true value or MPV. What is MPV? What is MPV? Most probable value. MPV, most probable value. So now, my dear, here first I will define and then I will calculate. It is the mean or average of, it is the mean or average of all the, it is the mean or average of all the value of, mean or average. So mean or average, right? I will take mean or I will take average. So mean or average of all the measurement. All the measurements. Bas. How many measurements have you done? 5 measurements, 5 readings. So I can write measurements also, I can write readings also, no issue. Make your own words. Ultimately we have to calculate. It's a numerical. But it is true also that you have to know the definition also. Then only you can get the values. Right? So it is a mean or average of all the measurements or, my dear, readings. So now let's start. Now my dear, this is true value in what I am finding. The mean value of what I am finding? Time period. I am finding the mean value of time period. So now I have 2 options. Either I will write T mean or I will write T bar or I will write T average. These are the way, my dear. Either I write T mean, that is mean value of time period, mean value of time period, or I will write T bar. T bar, when we write in physics, or my dear, as soon as we write this kind of a notation, immediately physicist and any of the student can understand this is the average taken. or I can write T average. But why I am writing T everywhere? Because my dear, we are having a reading of time periods. We have a reading of time period. If we have a reading of mass, I have written mass mean, mass m bar or mass average. Try to understand, because as the problem situation is changed, the alphabet will change. But this suffix or this average, this mean, this putting bar symbol is remains same. So now here it will be, my dear, simple now. Let's start. So what is the answer? This is 2.63 plus 2.56 plus 2.42 plus 2.71 plus 2.80 whole divided by 5. Whole divided by 5. So now, my dear, I will get, therefore, T mean or T bar or T average, whatever you wanted to take among these three. So now, my dear, in the numerator I will get 3, 6, 9 and 2, 11 and 1, 12. So 2 carry over, 2, 1 carry over, 8 and 1, 9 and 7, 16 and 4, 20 and 5, 25 and 6, 31. Right? 3 carry over, then 3 to 5 to 7 to 9 to 11 and to 13. So this is 13.12 divided by 5. So now, my dear, when I go for the next step, this will be 13.12 divided by 5. When I divide this, I will get 2.52s are 10. Then here 3 and 1, 31. So it becomes 6. So that is 5.2, 5, 6 are 30. I hope it is clear. 31, 5, 6 are 30. And then here it is 1 carry 1 and here it is 2. 1 and 2, that is 12. 12 and that is nothing but 5 2s are 10. I hope it is clear. Still 2 will remain behind and that will be with 0. So 5 and 2, that is 2 0, that is 4. So it will be 20. You can see here. I am dividing. This is 13.12. This will giving me 5 2s are 10. Here is the rough walk. So this is, my dear, I am getting 5 2s are 10. This is 31. Here it is 2 point, because here it is point, but I will write here 31. This is 5 6 are. This is 12. This is 5 2s are. This is 2 and I put 0 here. It is 4. So, my dear, here I am getting the answer as 2.624 after solving in rough work. But my dear, if you can see the problem, your readings, your reading is given 2 digits after the decimal. After decimal, in every reading 6 3, 5 6, 4 2, 7 1, 8 0, every reading is expressed in 2 digits after the decimal. So, my dear, from here you please have some small logic. And what is the logic? Sir, if my given reading is in 2 digits after the decimal, why don't I keep my every answer? Either it is an answer of mean, either it is an answer of absolute error, either it is answer of mean absolute error, relative error, percentage error. We will keep the answer only up to 2 digits after the decimal. And why I am saying this? Because, sir, my question the readings are given only up to 2 digits after the decimal. So use this logic, a kind of a logic trick. Here my readings is given only up to 2 digits after the decimal. I will leave my answer. I will round off my answer only up to 2 digits after the decimal. So in this answer, after taking the average, my dear, I got the answer as 2.624. But so here in the answer, I hope there is a 3 digit 624 1 2 3. So what should I do? When I end up the answer here, I will end up with the rounding this answer, and after rounding this answer, no doubt the last one is 4. It is less than 5. You all can see. So no doubt, sir, this is ignored. This last digit can ignored because it is less than 5. So what is the final answer? The final answer, when I ask you to keep in 2 digits, the final answer will be, therefore, this is T mean or T bar or T average is equal to 2.62 second. 2.62 second, my dear. So here I will say here by how I got this answer, by rounding off. By rounding off the given number, by rounding off the given number or given answer up to, so by rounding off to second decimal place. How I come to know second decimal place तक ही round off करना है sir? इसको round off करके लिखना है, because sir every reading is given up to second decimal place. Every reading has only 2 digit after the decimal, 6, 3, 5, 6, 4, 2. तो मेरे answers में भी I will round off to second decimal place, and when I round off to second decimal place is 6, 2. Since the last number is 4, so it doesn't affect the previous number because it is less than 5. So my dear, my final answer for this question will be T mean or T bar or T average is equal to 2.62 second. So this is, my dear, the average value I have calculated. Now let's go to the second one. The second one is the absolute error in each measurement. So when you go for absolute error in each measurement, how to calculate that? Look at everybody to calculate absolute error in each measurement. So now second point. Now my dear, here the very important language is given. Sir, the absolute error in each measurement. Oh God, it means that this language, this absolute error is occurred in every measurement. See, try to understand, this is a good concept. When I calculated mean value, true value or MPV, that is most probable value, sir, you got one single answer for these 5 readings. Because what you did, you had 5 and divided by 5, you got one single answer. But here the question may, whenever you find absolute error, whether it is given in each measurement or not, that's not a question. Whenever there is a word calculate absolute error, remember my dear, you have to calculate the absolute error in each measurement. So if there are 5 measurements, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it means there will be 5 absolute error. There is 5 absolute error, my dear, because absolute error calculated in each measurement. So now let's start with the definition of the absolute error. What is the definition here? It is the difference between true value. Now you understood true value I have calculated. That is mean value or most probable value. So it is a difference between true value and each measured value. Gives the absolute error in each measurement. Oh God, it is difference between true value and each measured value, my dear. Each measured value gives absolute error in each measurement. So if I take the true value and then minus with difference with the first measured value, it will give first absolute error. True value minus second measurement, it will give second absolute error. Try to understand. The definition is so clear that it is the difference between It is a difference between, you can see again and underline the very good word. It is a difference between true value, okay, right, and each measured value. Gives absolute error in each measurement. So if I subtract the first measured value with true value, I will get first absolute error. If I subtract the second measured value with true value, from true value, I will get the second absolute error. If I subtract the third measured value from true value, I will get third absolute error. So that's what, my dear, difference between true value and each measured value will give the absolute error in each measurement. So now, my dear, when I go for this to calculate absolute error, let us calculate absolute error. So whenever we write absolute error, my dear, look at it, the way of expressing. For example, I said in each measurement of what? Measurement of time. So the first absolute error, I am writing here, first absolute error. First absolute error will be given by delta T1. Sir, how you come to know T? Sir, time period is given. So first absolute error in measurement of time period, that is first. So I put T1 and this is error. So I put delta. So आज के बाद remember, if I put anywhere the language delta in the sums, in the numerical, that is error in that quantity. मैं अभी बोल रहा हूँ, फिर आपको न्यूमेरिकल्स में दिखाऊंगा, बट ये बात को मैं लिंक करूंगा. So whenever we have a beginning with the word error, I said error in time. I said error in time. You will say delta T. I will say error in mass. You will say delta M. I will say error in length. You will say delta L. Error in gravity, delta G. Error in density, delta rho. Error in velocity, delta V. Error in acceleration, delta A, delta. So whenever we write a quantity with delta, immediately students should say, oh sir, this is error in that quantity is given. Error in that quantity is given. Please. क्योंकि अभी ये sums में पूरे मेहनत, पूरा effort डालो. So that next all sums में you will be easy. So this is absolute error. First absolute error will be delta T1 and that is equal to true value, that is T mean minus T1. And how much is T mean, my dear? T mean is 2.62 minus 2.63. So what is the answer of delta T1, everybody? Delta T1 will be equal to minus, because here minus 2.63, it is greater and it is small. So the answer will be minus 0.01. This is second and this is second. Second and second. When subtract, the answer will be second only. So here you will write second. Don't forget the unit. I will tell you units are there. Mean value के answers में भी unit है. Each absolute error में भी unit है. Because when I subtract 2 seconds, second with second, the answer will be in second at the end. Don't cut that second. It's not a ratio of that second. It is a difference. I hope it is clear, my dear. So everybody, I hope everybody understood what is the definition of absolute error. It is the difference between true value, and true value is also called mean value or most probable value or average value. So it is a difference between true value and the each measured value. Why I said each? Because first measured value I will take, then I will get first absolute error. If I say second measured value, I will get second absolute error in that particular physical quantity. And therefore it is clearly mentioned, each measured value gives absolute error in each measure. So now, my dear, here I have calculated first absolute error. You must be understanding from your side, sir, there will be 5 absolute error. So let us calculate one by one. Delta T2, delta 3T, delta T4, delta T5. So now let's proceed for the second absolute error, my dear. So I have got the answer. I have wiped out the board. So I am writing the answer here. Till now what I have calculated. I have calculated T mean or T bar or T average or true value, or we call this as true value, because this is only a true value, my dear. So I am writing true value so that you should not confuse. Hereafter anybody will ask, hey, calculate true value, immediately बोलेगा my mean value is the true value. Wait, I am calculating mean and that is the true value of that, because 5 values है. See, बहुत languages के साथ में अच्छा रहो बच्चे. There are 5 measurement. So sir, which is the true value? Sir, I got the answer. We will take the mean. The mean will be the true value or most probable value. ठीक है? Or MPV, most probable value. Don't forget. And this answer I got it as 2.62 second after rounding off to second decimal place. And how I got an idea to round up only up to second decimal place? Because sir, every measurement was given up to second decimal place. देखो ये सब समझो, सपना नहीं आएगा कि सर मैं इसको second decimal पे क्यों round up करूँ? मेरा answer was 2.624. So why you are rounding up to only second decimal place? Why not first decimal place? Sir, reading is given up to the second decimal place. The measurements are given up to the second decimal place, so I rounded up to second decimal place. Please ये सब थोड़ा याद रखो, because this is my first problem. Next time you have to do. I am giving an assignment. Tomorrow will be doubt solving. I am giving you 24 hours, my dear, to calculate these numericals, and then, my dear, tomorrow I will take your problems, which will be put on email ID and WhatsApp on this topic. Now, second is, my dear, I calculated the first absolute error delta T1, that is equal to T1 minus T. I am writing again, that is T minus T1. T is your mean value, that is true value minus T1. Answer was minus 0.01 second. Now the next is delta T2. This is second ka first part, because absolute error in second one will be 5 parts, 5 readings. So 5 absolute error will be there. So second one will be the second part, the second absolute error, delta T2 is equal to T mean, be fast bachcho, minus T2. Now T mean is how much bachcho? 2.62 and this is 2.56. So 2.62, I am writing for your knowledge, 2.62 minus 2.56, answer will be plus 0.06, 5662. Don't do the mistakes. Delta T3 is equal to T mean minus T3, this will be 2.62 minus, my dear, 2.42, because third reading is 2.42, and the answer of this will be 0.20 second. 20, 42, 60. Okay, 62. Okay, 20. Aram se. Subtraction should be a proper. Delta T4 is equal to T mean minus T4, that is 2.62 minus 2.71. Oh God, this is bigger and this is smaller, like a first case. So here also I am writing 2.62 minus 2.63. Answer is minus 0.01. So here it is minus 0.09 second. Similarly, fifth one, delta T5 is equal to T mean minus T5, that is 2.62 minus 2.80. The answer of this will be minus 0.18 second, my dear, because 60 to 80 is 80. So 3 value I got with minus, and 2 value I got with it plus. So the absolute error can be positive also. Absolute error in each measurement can be in positive and can be in negative. Okay, give a thought. Absolute error in each measurement. Matlab the error delta. I will show in my numericals also when I go for combination. Whenever we write error, delta, error in mass, delta M, before that there can be plus as well as minus. I will show you in my numericals tomorrow when I link with this. So anyhow, so I calculated now the absolute error in each measurement, sir, and they are coming in positive also and negative also. But true value was in positive, and it is one and only single value. Answer is single answer. But absolute error is there in each measurement. Have 5 readings, 5 measurements, so 5 absolute error I calculated. Now my dear, the third step, step number 3. Step 3. This was the step 2. And this was the step 1. According to the question we are going. Now step 3, we have to calculate mean absolute error. Mean absolute error. Now my dear, when we calculate the mean absolute error, what is the definition here? So now when we calculate the mean absolute error, what is, my dear, see, mean absolute error matlab average of absolute error. Average of absolute error matlab, sir, you have calculated 5 absolute error, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just take average. So what is mean absolute error? Sir, it is the average or mean of absolute error. Okay. But my dear, there is one point. There is one thing which you are supposed to note. That is very important to note. What the people or the science says, when we go for mean absolute error, when we are estimating the mean absolute error, my dear, there is one rule we had made. There is one rule we are supposed to follow. It's not just taking a mean of these absolute error and that's all over. While taking the mean, my dear, what is the situation? What is the condition? When you are finding the mean of these all absolute error, according to the mean absolute error language, when you are finding the mean of these absolute error, since absolute error are carrying positive value also and negative value also. So what is the way, what is the criteria, what is the rule? That, sir, you have to take the mean of all absolute error. No, you don't let to leave any error, any absolute error. It doesn't mean if it is in negative, leave it. Only take positive one. No, you have to take the average of all absolute error, but we have to convert all absolute error in positive magnitude. We have to calculate, we have to convert all absolute error in positive sense, positive magnitude. Now what is positive magnitude? Sir, minus 0.01 second. In my first video, I told you a magnitude comprises of number and unit. So number, unit, sir, they are magnitudes. They are magnitudes of each absolute error. हम बार-बार बोलते हैं they are value of each absolute error, right? The minus 0.01 second is the value of first absolute error. But my dear, instead of saying now value, better if we can say magnitude, because sir, it is a number and a unit, so it becomes magnitude. 53 kg is a magnitude of mass. 45 second is a magnitude of time. What's wrong in that? So what is the criteria? Rule is that, sir, when you are finding the mean of all, छोड़ना नहीं है किसी को. You have to take the mean of all absolute error, average of all the absolute error, whether it is in positive or negative. But the negative error which are there, negative absolute error which are there, you have to express that in positive magnitude. You have to express them in positive magnitude, because positive are always in positive. They are previously they are positive. But those who are in negative, you have to express them in also positive. Oh God, how you can do this? Sir, by taking mod. As soon as I put anything in mod, my dear, this is a symbol for mod. Many of you are learning for first time, or I hope you have this in the class 10th also in algebra. Mod concepts, please. So as soon as I put the negative sign or any such magnitudes in mod, my dear, automatically they are expressing, because the mod is for them only, to express the negative magnitudes in positive by putting a mod. So here I will write the definition first, try to understand, and then look at the way what I am doing. So here it is the mean or average of, it is the mean or average of positive magnitude. Even it is in negative, I will convert it into positive by putting a mod. So it is the mean or average of positive magnitude of all the absolute error, or positive magnitude of each absolute error. All भी बोल सकते हैं, each भी बोल सकते हैं in measurement. It is the mean, of course mean of absolute error, mean or average of absolute error. But there is one rule, one criteria. Yes, sir. Those who are in negative expression, you have to convert it into, you have to express them in positive magnitude by putting a mod. So now, my dear, this is, I hope this is a brilliant concept under this entire question which is asked. So it is a mean or average of positive magnitude of each absolute error. Take care of positive magnitude of each absolute error. So now I will express each absolute error in positive magnitude. So how to do it? Look at it. So here mean absolute error, my dear. Any absolute error is denoted by delta. Delta, absolute error, delta. In time, it is given in question, so it is delta t. Since it is mean, so I will write delta t average, or delta t bar, or delta t mean. There are so many expressions. See, now you should have a logic. If mean was represented t mean, so a mean absolute error will be represented by delta t mean, because delta are the absolute error, and as soon as I took mean, I will put mean at the suffix. What's wrong in you? You can usually use the logic here. So therefore, here I am writing delta t average, or delta t bar, or delta t average. So much, bachcho, I am giving you the concept. This is the expression for mean absolute error, or delta t mean. ये है भी. And what is this, sir? All you will read this as mean, and delta t मतलब mean absolute error, average absolute error, average absolute error. And here I put bar, so bar is again average absolute error, is equal to mod delta t1 mod. Now initially it was delta t1, just I said positive magnitude of each absolute error. ये absolute error है delta t1, but positive magnitude चाहिए था, मैंने mod कर दिया. But sir, should I put mod only for negative number, not for positive? No. When you write here, you write every to the mod. Right now I am getting my second answer in positive only. That is my luck by numerical. But if my second number was negative, then so I have to put only mod to the second one, and the rest all 9. When writing the formula, you will put the mod to every word. Okay, so this is mod delta t1 plus mod delta t2 plus mod delta t3. Oh, so nice. Plus mod delta t4 plus mod delta t5 whole divided by 5. Is equal to your mean absolute error, average absolute error, also mean absolute error. Okay. So now, my dear, let us calculate this. So this will be, my dear, therefore mean absolute error, that is delta t mean, is equal to, my dear, number 1, here it is delta t1, here it is minus 0.01, but now I put mod, so I will write 0.01. Positive में लिखूंगा. I will express in positive. So nice. This is plus delta t2, mod delta t2, it is always already in positive. So this is 0.06 plus mod delta 3, 0.20 plus mod delta t4 minus में, but यहाँ mod डाल दिया, so again it is in positive 0.09 plus 0. Mod delta t phi plus 0.18 whole divided by 5. So now my dear, what the answer for delta t mean? So delta t mean, that is mean absolute error, it will be nothing but, let us check it out, 6 and 1 7, 6 1 7 0 9 16, I hope it is clear, 16 and 8 24 4 2 carry over, 2 plus 1 3, 3 plus 0 0 plus 2 5 plus 0 plus 0. So here it is 5. Now no carry over, 0 0 0 0 0. So it is 0.54 divided by 5. So now my dear, I am getting the answer 0.5. You can so easy, you can divide also yourself. 0. Because this is 0, so it is 0. This is 5 ones are right. And now here it is, my dear, 4 and it is 5. So I have made 40 here, right? 40. So as soon as I make 40, I have to put 0 and 5 8s are 40. So it is 0.108. 0.108, and here my dear, all errors, see, try to understand for units also, and if you not put any unit in the question, your marks will be deducted. So you should don't forget, don't calculate the answer and be happy. Put the unit also, don't forget. See, I am taking so nicely this lectures for 1 hour entirely, so that one problem you understood. Let's do your practice and show me from tomorrow's assignment. Tomorrow is the doubt solving videos on that. If you are not doing, I am not happy. So this is 0.108, and my dear, here what I mean to say, delta t1, delta t2, delta t3, delta t4, थोड़ा सा logic रखो, अपने आप को substitutes करो उधर पे. So numerator में there is second everywhere, and in denominator it is just a number 5. Don't have unit. So here 0.0108, and that since numerator carrying a unit of second, so here it is 0.0108 second. But my dear, our aim was to convert any answer in 2 digit. That is up to 2 decimal. So what to do? हमको सारे answers को up to 2 decimal convert करना है. So when because मैंने पहले दिखा दिया था, I have calculated, see, I have calculated t mean, and the answer is 2.62. I have calculated each absolute error again in the up to the second decimal place. I hope it is clear. So when I go for mean absolute error, how can I lead to third decimal place? So again here also I will use the same logic and convert and round off this answer to the second decimal place, and the answer becomes 0. This is 1, of course, and this is 8, my dear, more than 5. So this 0 will become 1. 0.11. I hope it is clear, because it is more than 5, so it will round up this number. This will come here, round up to this. So here it is 0, and 0 become 1. So this becomes 0.011 second as the answer of mean or average absolute error. So now my dear, I hope you understood even rounding of the things, and don't worry, because as soon as you start worrying, then you will be, and don't dishearten. Be very happy while doing all these numerical. Now let's go to the next one, to calculate relative error. So I am giving you the definition also, and simultaneously I am solving also. But by next numerical, I will not give the definition. Okay, I will start solving, and I will see that how much you can do for me. Now here, let's go for relative error. Now my dear, my fourth topic is relative error. So now look at it, relative error. What is a relative error, my dear? And we will, I am here also, I am jotting the answers. First I calculate mean value in time period, 2.62 seconds. Then I calculate absolute error in each measurement. My dear, we are not interested actually. That is the process of estimating an error. Therefore, we have included this. But in most of the numerical, the teacher will, or the question will say directly calculate mean absolute error. But it is your duty that your mean absolute error ke pehle there is an absolute error in each measurement, for which we are finding the mean by taking its positive magnitudes. सुन रहे हो मैं क्या बोल रहा हूँ? In all the numerical, my dear, they will not ask you absolute error in each measurement. They indirectly say that calculate mean absolute error indirectly. Am I clear? So what is the problem is that if they say calculate mean absolute error, this is indirect way of asking the question. They are not directly saying find the absolute error, then find mean absolute error. They are not giving you the clue. So whenever you get this mean absolute error, remember, oh God, I have to calculate absolute error in each measurement. Then I will calculate mean absolute error. So ये process याद रखना. So I have written here only mean absolute error का answer है, that is 0.11 second, because absolute error in each measurement is 5 different value and it will occupy the space and we no need in answers. We have to calculate that, we have to show in the paper, that is true. Now my dear, let's go to the relative error definition. Now what is definition of relative error? My dear, relative error, अच्छा एक और बात, here I have given the expression representation as the mean time period as t mean. The mean of absolute error is delta t mean because it is a time period. Measurement t का था, time period का था, delta t mean. But for relative error, my dear, we can just have a word like this, relative error. We don't have any representation because every representation is occupied by them. So there is no representation for this, but only the thing is that when you write this relative error, you will say relative error in what? Relative error in time period. This is the complete statement. Capital T. Relative error in time period, capital T. Please. No expression. Formula is its expression. So henceforth I will say combination also. Today also I will give you example. You will understand. Sure. Formula itself is a representation. So as soon as I will get the formula for this language, what I have written on this, that is only its representation. Okay. So relative error in time period. Okay. That is the definition. That is my question right now. But my dear, abhi filal I am writing definition. So because numerical will keep changing, right? So now I cannot write in time. Because if it is in mass, so it is relative error in mass. If it is in resistance, it becomes relative error in resistance. Depend on question, right? It is time period, I have written time. But for writing definition, I should not write all this. Because definition is applicable to each and every one. Definition is not on the base of name of the quantities. Okay? So it should be applicable to each case. And therefore, my dear, unique. Right? So what is the definition here? Sir, it is the ratio of, here my dear, here is the answer. I am writing in formula. See, delta T mean, oh God, delta T mean. Sir, this is the mean absolute error. Divide by T mean. T mean is also called T value because it is denotation is T. So true denotation is T. This is true value A of time period. तो जहां मैं T mean लिख रहा हूं वो T भी बोल सकते. T mean is T. T mean is true value. But true value in what? Sir, question में time period है तो true value in time period. So this is delta T mean divided by T mean. So what is the definition? And this is the relative error, my dear. This is relative error. So what is relative error? Relative error is the ratio. It is a ratio, numerator, denominator. Whenever there is numerator, denominator, it's a ratio. It is a ratio of mean absolute error, because in numerator it is mean absolute error, delta T mean to the, that is I am writing here delta T mean, the notion. But for this question it is delta T mean, right? So better I am not writing any denotation, that is also good. So it is a ratio of mean absolute error to the true value of measurement. Or to the mean value of measurement. Mean value of measurement or true value of measurement. I hope it is clear. So here the formula will be delta T mean divided by T mean, because here delta I have T taken because it is time period. But if it is, my dear, suppose it is relative error in resistance. This is all combination of problems. This is all, you know, you will create a trouble. अगर आपको मालूम नहीं है what you are finding, what you are doing. So what is relative error in resistance? I will express delta R divided by R. But this delta R is actually mean absolute error. Mean absolute error. But there, and while writing in all other things, all other formula, when I start applying this, we are not writing mean. But you will read this is mean absolute error. In numerator it is mean absolute error, and in denominator it is true value of resistance. What is relative error in mass? In mass measurement. Yeah, in measurement of mass. Sir, easy. Delta M upon M. But don't forget that this is mean. While writing formula, we just write delta M. But you should pronounce yourself, sir, in numerator that is mean absolute error. Mean absolute error divided by its true value. Am I clear, my dear? And sometime, my dear, I measured the quantity with a true value and only its error. True value and error in that true value. So sometimes this become a error. Of course, error divided by true value. But which error? Absolute error. And better is, sir, mean absolute error, because definition says it is mean absolute error divided by true value. Okay, so now this is a very important language, my dear, to understand. Oh God, relative error is this. What is relative error in density? See, now you have to practice all this. Relative error in density. Sir, it is delta rho divided by rho. But this delta rho is actually mean, huh? And what is this delta rho? First pehle utna bolo. Delta rho is absolute error. And I write delta rho mean. So this is mean absolute error. But while writing the formula, when I will go for combination, I will show you all these numericals based on these all topics. Right? There I will show that we are not writing mean, but I will say, yeah, this is the relative error ka denotion. Delta rho by rho, delta m by m, delta t by t. And the formula is, answer is, definition is, it is a ratio of mean absolute error. तो जहाँ पर मैं ये delta m by m लिख रहा हूँ, that is all way of expression, representation. But you, in your knowledge, please take care. That is mean absolute error in numerator. It's not only an absolute error. This is mean absolute error in density to the true value of density. This is mean absolute error of resistance to the true value of the resistance. Am I clear? And why this they have not written mean and all, because sometimes the resistance is given, say the value like this, 100 plus minus 4 ohm. See, एक बात और ये सब भी देख लो, 100 plus minus 4 ohm. So my dear, this 100 is the true value of this resistance, and this 4 is the error in resistance. But this is error in resistance true, right? But this is which error in resistance? Sir, this is mean absolute error in resistance. So here this is the true value R and this is delta R. This is R, this is delta. So please try to understand. I try my level best and don't get confused. This is a good one. So ये सब बहुत ज़रूरी है. Relative error आने के बाद बच्चा your complexity increase होता है. And you should know, जितना practice करोगे सर expressions पे. Sir, if you say rho is equal to, in any measurement, density is measured as 2 plus minus 0.7 kg per cubic meter, unit of density. So sir, this is the true value. This is the true value. And this is the mean absolute error in density. This is a true value of density and this is a mean absolute error of density. So in terms of relative error, how will you express this language? Relative error में इसको आप कैसे express करोगे? Relative error में इसको आप कैसे express करोगे? सर relative error का formula है delta rho by rho. So यहाँ पे rho is what? True value क्या है? Rho is a true value. So here true value in the question is 2. And error in density is this. I said plus minus. Absolute error can be in plus also and in minus also. So absolute error is in plus also and in minus also. See, we have calculated in the numerical. See my video very carefully what I am teaching. So sir, this is 100% absolute error. So when we, and so here sir you have written absolute error. So how much is absolute error? 0.7 divided by 2. So answer will be 0.35 is the relative error in this question. And it don't have unit because ऊपर भी error है, density है, नीचे भी density है. It is not like a previous question adding and divide by number. It is the error in density divided by true value of density. Error in density divided by true value of density. In numerator also there is a density, denominator also density. This unit which is given will be cancelled. Because error also possesses a unit, error also possesses a unit, error in density also possesses a unit, and true value in density, true value of density also possesses a unit. So when I substitute to calculate relative error, my dear, unit will be cancelled out. So now my dear, you understood relative error जब आप answer में लिखोगे, it is unitless, and followed by percentage error, it is in percentage. So no question of unit. You will never say 4% second, 4% second. No, na? Only percentage over, no second. So relative error don't have any unit, my dear. I proved it, and this is so many example I have given. Please don't manipulate. Don't manipulate. So my dear, now you understood. So here definition say it is the mean ratio of mean absolute error to the true value of that quantity. So my dear, here mean absolute error divided by true value. So everywhere this is the mean absolute error which is given. So plus minus is all you know, that absolute error is in plus also, is in minus also. So now here this will be delta t mean divided by t mean. So what is the answer here, my dear? This is the answer here of this question will be 0.11 divided by 2.62. So as soon as I go for this, the answer for this will be, I hope when I will calculate this, the answer is coming as 0.39 something. Wait, and I'll find it out. Yeah, it is 0.04198. Try to understand. The answer is 0.04198. .04198. So my dear, 0.0, and my promise was that to keep the answer, round off the answer up to the second decimal. So now when I go for second decimal, here is 8. Okay, fine. So it will be turn the previous number. Previous number become 10. So it will turn the previous number, that is 1, suppose. So if I see this number is kitna bhi increase hoga, so it will not cross 5. It is 1. Just next to 4. After 2 digit, the next number is 1. And sir, this 1 cannot go to the 5 or cross 5. It is 1, quite less. So no doubt your second decimal answer will be over here according to rounding off. So here by rounding off, to second decimal place, the answer will be, my dear, 0.04 is the relative error. In measurement, अब मैं लिखूंगा बेटा, in measurement of time period. and the definition is this. But my dear, while calculation, while writing formula, we write delta R by R, that is relative error in resistance. And the delta R represent the mean absolute error. Or you can say absolute error, no issues. That is absolute error to the true error. Because the errors are given in plus and minus, if you can see. So I have calculated absolute error in plus also and minus also. So when I write 4 plus minus 0.3, immediately sir you have to say, sir, this is a true value in measurement and this is the absolute error in that measurement. I hope it is clear. So please, and absolute error denoted by delta. And that measurement मतलब delta and that measurement का जो denotation होगा वो divide by true value, it become relative error. So now let's go to the next one. Next one is percentage error. Percentage error. So my dear, relative error, I got the answer here. Relative error, the answer is, everybody, the answer is, my dear, 0.04. Now let's go to the percentage error. Percentage error in according to question in time period. But abhi I'll write definition first. My dear, the formula of percentage error is relative error into 100%. So simple. So whatever is the relative error, you multiply that relative error with 100%, you will get the percentage error. You will get the percentage. So now what is relative error? What is percentage error? When, don't say when, relative error when expressed in, जब हम relative error को, so relative error when expressed in, ऐसे लिखो, when relative error expressed in ऐसे मत लिखो, relative error, because I can keep the answer to relative error also for the question. It not necessary every time I should calculate percentage error. I will work according to the question. So relative error when expressed in percentage, जब हम उसको express करते हैं percentage में, relative error when expressed in percentage. So here, my dear, I have expressed this is a relative error, and by multiplying this relative error with 100%, I express the relative error in percentage. By multiplying the relative error with 100%, I express the relative error. I represented the relative error in percentage error. When expressed in percentage are called percentage error. So now, my dear, here this is the percentage error in time period. Again, it is according to question. If it is resistance, it is percentage error in resistance, percentage error in mass, so on. So now percentage error in time. So relative error is how much, my dear? 0.04 into 100%. So this becomes 4%. 0.04 when multiplied by 100, it is 4%. So this is what I have calculated, my dear. Now the last part, express the result in proper form. Express the result in proper form. The question is this now. My dear, now the proper form of the result is two-way. One in the terms of absolute error. Right? One in the terms of, here I will write percentage error ka answer. So the 1, 2, 3 and 4th is percentage error. I got the answer as here percentage error ka definition. Percentage error of this numerical, I got it as 4%. So now, my dear, the last part of the question is express the result in a proper form. This is the many places in NCERT questions. So you have to express the results in a proper form. Now when you go for expressing the result in proper form, there is a two way, as I said. One in terms of absolute error, mean absolute error. And other in terms of percentage error, my dear. So now I will end. मैंने ये बताया अभी था. अभी I show the form. Thus, number 1, in terms of absolute error. So now, as I told you, mean absolute error. Now I will keep talking as I say in terms of absolute error because it can be positive and negative, right? Expressions. I'll show you. अभी बताया, right? In terms of absolute error, the result of this question in terms of absolute error. So in terms of absolute error, time period capital T is equal to. So in terms of absolute error, result is in terms of absolute error. So here time period T is equal to, please try to understand, time period T is equal to true value. What is the true value of this time period? 2.62. Very good. अभी मैंने frame किया, so many example I have given. But now this is the answer I am writing of time period in terms of absolute error. Try to understand. So don't write only absolute error का आंसर. सर आपको आंसर रिप्रेजेंट करना है. So मैंने आपको बोला ही था कि whenever we give the questions numerical, we give true value along with plus minus absolute error. Plus minus absolute error. So now here plus minus, and here my dear the absolute error is denoted by 0.11. The mean absolute error, that is absolute error, you can say mean absolute error. 0.11, and here is the answer. Last में here I will write second because 2.62 is also in second and 0.11 also in second. So here I will write second at the end here outside. 2.62 also in second, 0.11 also in second. So this is the answer of the result in terms of absolute error. Am I clear? And second, my dear, the answer is in terms of percentage error. So when I go for percentage error, how I write the answer in terms of percentage error? So in terms of percentage error, my dear, this is what? So in terms of percentage error, this will be time period capital T, that is percentage error in time period capital T के form में. So in terms of percentage error, how will I write the time period, my dear? So this is nothing but 2.62, that is true value, plus minus 4%, plus minus 4%, because percentage I got it as 4%. I hope it is clear, and again here it is second. No doubt, because 2.62 is in second, so I will write here as second. So you all clear the answers of this question. Now I will give you the assignment. So I hope you all clear. Please, this is the two answers to express the result. One in terms of absolute error and another in terms of percentage. Absolute error, sir. The first is true value we will write, and then mean absolute error whatever we calculated after taking 5 observations. And that will be in plus minus, no doubt. And in percentage error, it will be nothing but time period. Time period is nothing but percentage error of, in terms of percentage error, how will you express? So first true value is 2.62 plus minus. Percentage जो आया होगा 4%, and then 2.62 is in second. Here you have to take order that he says 2.62 is in second. So true value, whenever I end the time period, it will be end with second. Unit तो देना ही पड़ेगा because now this is a result. So time period के पास unit तो होगा, that is. So in both the answers, second should appear. So that's all from my side, my dear. Now I will give you the assignment. You have to do that all question. You have to put it on my WhatsApp or my email ID. You all know that my email ID is, if you can wish, So please you can put your queries on my email if you have any doubt with respect to the question. So now in my next video I will just put the questions and you have to solve those questions for your practice and let me know tomorrow. Otherwise I will do the few questions from them also tomorrow. If you cannot do it, if you have any doubt, please ask me on my email ID. Thank you all and Jai Hind.